This is Amy Chan from CakeDecoratingSchool.com, and if you like cake decorating, you're in the right place. If you're interested in these products, check out the links in the description. In this video, we're talking about some of the essential tools we use when working with gum paste. If you're just getting into gum paste, there's a few things that you want to invest in early on that'll last you the life of your career, whether it's a hobby or a profession. The first would be a small gum paste rolling pin. You can use these to roll fondant or gum paste. They typically come with guides that'll help you control how thickly you're rolling it, which is always helpful, especially if you're just starting. And it's a great no-stick rolling pin, so they're perfect for working with fondant and gum paste. But specifically, in this case, gum paste, where we really want to be able to get it really nice and thin. So those little pink guides are the smallest ones on ours. And in general, when you set your pin up, it's better to put the smaller ones inside and the larger ones outside, because then you kind of go down in a graduated way, right? And it's easy to just take off the large ones, and then the thin ones are ready to use. And then you can put the larger ones back on if you want it to be thicker, right? And then that's great. If you put the thicker ones on the inside, then you kind of have to take everybody off to use the thin ones. So that will just save you a little time. Just always keep the thinnest guides towards the center and the thicker ones on the outside, and then it's easier to take them on, put them on and take them off without wasting more time and effort when you're doing it. Other thing, dusting puffs. They make little pouches that you can put powdered sugar or cornstarch in. I typically just buy cheesecloth and make my own little pouches because I go through a couple a year. So I just buy one nice big package of cheesecloth. I cut it up into little squares. I tie them up and I put some extra powdered sugar and, if needed, a little cornstarch in there. And that allows you to dust your surface and also dust your gum paste while you're rolling. I have this set of Wilton gum paste tools that I got a while back. I think this specific set is no longer in production, but there's a few key things in here that are just always awesome. I have these great little modeling tools. There's two different thicknesses. The one end is rounded, right? And the other one is pointed, so it's great for working on figurines. And the second one is just a slightly larger size. And I'll pull that out, right? So you can see it's got a nice point on that end, and it's just blunt and rounded on the other. It comes with a small spatula, which I've found really helpful for lifting and handling pieces when I'm trying to get them into place, or just get them off of the table or the surface that I'm rolling on sometimes. I don't always want to touch things with my hands because I don't really want to heat things up. Probably one of the most popular tools would be a veining tool. They come in a variety of sizes, and most gum paste tools, you'll notice, have one on each end, and it's typically the same one. So I have a smaller veining tool on this end than I do on this end. And it's typically made for making veins and leaves and petals. So it adds a little more lifelike texture. Right. And then the second one that's super, super popular is the ball tool. This is like if you're trying to make those beautiful ruffle cakes or the ones with ruffly rosettes, you're using the ball tool to thin out the edges of that gum paste and make that great ruffled appearance. You're also going to use it to thin the edges of petals if you're making roses. So it's super popular, super versatile, and having these in a bunch of different sizes will really serve you well. There's some other things like the shell tool. It's more of an impression tool, right? It has these little ridges there, and you can use it to press into fondant and gum paste. This one has a nice little blade, kind of like knife edge. It's a great little wedge, so use it more for carving and modeling. This is just another style of ball tool, so definitely don't pull that one out as often. And then there's a variety of tools for making flowers with trumpets. So that's a flower that has a nice long throat, think like a lily or something like that. So this is for modeling that void down in between those petals. And you can see some of them have these ridges on it. So these lines are the indents you're making the definition between different petals. So having these in a variety of sizes with a variety of number of lines is always useful. But these are something you want to buy more so when you get into doing lots of flowers. If you're not doing lots of flowers and say you're only doing a lot of figurine modeling, these aren't necessarily as important and would be something that wouldn't be essential in a set. And the last thing that this came with that was really nice was this little, it's basically a tiny pizza cutter, right? So it's just got little tines on the one side and it's smooth on the other, but it's great for little precision cutting. And it was just a little useful tool that came in this one. When you're looking at Gumpaste toolkits and you're trying to make a decision about what to buy, typically the plastic ones are cheaper and the metal ones are more expensive. So if you're just doing light use at home, occasional products, you can most likely get away with the less costly plastic ones. If you're really seriously investing this as a passion or hobby that you're going to do a lot, you might want to upgrade to the metal ones. But it never hurts to start out with a plastic set, a little more cost effective, see if it's really something you like and get into before you spend more money on a serious nice metal set. And then the last thing that I would say would be foams. Usually there's thin ones that are more dense foam and thicker ones that are a little more spongy. These are going to be used in combination with things like your ball tool, either to thin the edges of petals or to cup petals by pressing into that foam. This kind of helps to stretch and shape your gum paste when you're making flowers. So if you're going to be doing flowers, those are definitely a good investment. And this covers the kind of essential equipment that you want to have when you start working with gum paste. If you like this video and you'd like to check out more about equipment or materials we use for cake decorating, or just some inspirational videos about cake decorating itself, check us out on Insta or YouTube at Cake Decorating School. If you'd like to know more about yearly membership and what it entails, you can go to www.cakedecoratingschool.com for more information. And if you're interested in these products, you can check out the links in the description.